I've been waiting for weeks to do this video, and I am so excited the time is finally here. Jared the Fro Polin has critiqued some of my best photos that I submitted to him. If you don't know who Jared Polin is, he is a pretty famous YouTuber. He specializes in photography. He's got his own website, and he teaches everything there is to know about photography. Now, he didn't come out to me and ask to critique my photos. I actually submitted my photos to him, and you can do the same if you want. Just go online. You can go to his website at froKnowsPhoto.com. You know, also browse around at all the great stuff he has to offer, and through there you can pay, I think it was $100 to send him your photos, and he will record a live video critiquing your photos very brutally and very honestly. And also, I must recommend check out his YouTube. Go on to YouTube at Jared Polin and check out all his vast majority of tutorial videos and reviews and things like that. So I have not seen this yet. Like I said, I've been waiting for weeks to do this for you guys. I'm going to open it up here on the laptop and watch it for the first time with you guys. So let's do it. Alright, we are in the studio, the barracks room. Let's go ahead and open this. Oof. A little nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm excited, so let's get into it, shall we? Alright.
Okay, so let me jump in here. Got your email. We're going to share some screens so we can talk about your pictures and go from there. All right, let me move this. Let me get to develop, and we'll see what we're shooting with. I saw that you start with the Rebel, which isn't a bad place to start. You know, it just, you need to start somewhere, and I don't care what anybody starts with as long as you just start. That's the key. So starting with a 51.8 isn't bad, but knowing that's a 75mm is definitely going to be a little more difficult in tighter situations. I like that you use some out-of-focus areas here to draw you into the subject. That's good. What I don't like is the skin smoothing from noise reduction. I absolutely despise noise reduction software, and it's a thing that people who didn't shoot film or don't understand that noise is, it's fine. It's part of an image. That's like, that's photography.
Yeah, when I shot this, it was like really not that well lit in the room. And but yeah, this picture is like one of my, probably my best boudoir pictures I've taken. It's of one of my exes. My girlfriend's probably going to be furious that this is on here, but you know what? Better ask for forgiveness, right?
Right? So this is not something that I want to see. I don't want to see skin smoothing. Skin smoothing just makes your image look less sharp when in fact it was probably sharp. So you're at 1600 at 1.8 at 1/320th of a second. Perfectly fine. If you wanted to bring it down, like let's play the math. If you wanted to be, you want to drop your ISO, we can drop it one stop to 800. We can drop it two stops to 400. Now we drop that. What do we do next? Because we drop that, so let's say this is the perfect exposure. We drop two stops of ISO, 400 ISO. Now we need to find two stops of light somewhere else because it's not letting in as much light. 400's lower than 800. So we can't go anywhere with the aperture 1.8, but we can lower the shutter speed. So 1/320th cuts in half to what? 1/125th? No. 1/160th. So 1/160th, and then 1/160th, you cut that in half to 1/80th. So 1/80th at 1.8 at 400 ISO would give you the same exact exposure. You just want to make sure you're not shooting a subject that's moving too fast. So that works. You just want to be very careful with the skin smoothing. But for a first start, it's not bad at all.
That's my dad.
1/640th f2 1600. Now you're with the EOS R. That camera can handle it. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to be at 1600. I shoot at higher ISOs all the time, and I don't worry about it. But in situations like this, if you see you have 1/640th, you know you could be at 1/320th.
Oh yeah,
and be at 800 ISO.
That's like
but
one
I'd
of
rather
my
still have you get the picture than worry.
Very early photos. I can see here that, what is it? Yeah, 1/640th of a second. For shooting a still subject like my dad sitting here is way too fast of a shutter speed. I could have done 200ths of a second, and then, like he said, bump down my ISO.
And worry about anything else. This I just pulled back a little bit. It was a little too hot, so I just pulled back on that exposure. What I will tell you, though, I mean, I think we're at like a Bloomingdale's or you know, somewhere. We have no idea where we are. We don't know, and I'm not saying you need to. It just feels like we don't know what this is, right? It's just a person sitting there smiling in a store. Composition's spot on, like that's good. But remember this, and you probably have other images, but the story, wides, mediums, tights, details. Wides establish a scene. The mediums bring you in a little closer like this. Tights give you those headshots. Details are like the hands, the watches, all of those different things that might exist there. So keep that in mind. But this is fine. The exposure is good. It's fine. And fine is good. 150 to 600, contemporary. Good job here. Good job getting the 1/125th of a sec. Sorry, 1/1250th at 6.3. The one thing is I'd be very careful when you crop. The more you crop, the more you're going to introduce noise and grain. This is fine. Out in the wild, not in the wild, but out at the zoo, this works perfectly fine. You get that picture that you wanted, you nailed it, and that's what you can get there. So that's definitely a good thing. The eagle, you see this crop that you have here?
Mm-hmm.
I am not a fan of crops like this. I'm a big fan of regular crops. 2.3, what your image sensor captures. That's what I want to see. This is very nice, though. You know, I know you're shooting the eagle through there. We could come back with some of the highlights. Nope, not now. It's too blown out with this. But this looks great. So you nailed that. Really nice job. Thank you card. I love that you can see the person's name right there.
Oh,
see,
that was
this is
on
the
accident.
detail that I'm talking about. Really nice job getting the details. Maybe even pull back a little more because we know it's super sunny. You see that? You see the difference here? You see how over that is? I know it's light and airy, and I know a lot of people like that blown out look these days, but I don't know. Something tells me when the sun is coming in, it's super hot and harsh, that this stuff shouldn't be super bright. I think that works, but that's a nice job getting the detail. This is going to be tough because this is indoors. 1/200th at f5.
It was dark in there.
Yeah, so this is where using that lens indoors isn't going to work great, but you did do it, so that's a major bonus. Good job there. But you know, you see how you cut off the feet a little bit. We don't get to see the scene. This is a difficult lens to be using indoors, and you got it right. Even though you're at f5, you had to bump your ISO and give yourself shutter speed, so you're doing really good there. This is fine. I think I want to pull back, though. I just want to... Just, you know, feels a little bright, and this just makes it feel a little more contrasty. But I like the longer exposure that you did. I like that you're playing around and getting that stuff.
That's me.
Yeah, this is really good.
Oh.
See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. This is perfect. Really nice job with the triptych. Yeah. 1/1250th, 2.8, 1600. You see how you have noise here? Like, see how we don't want that smoothed? That's natural. That's natural. There's nothing wrong with that at all. This is very good. Really nice. That's a great detail. Love the black and white.
I knew he
Really
would.
nice job here. 1/400th at f5, 1600. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, you have to be higher up with the ISO when you use lenses like that when you zoom are variable aperture. They're some of the hardest things to do, use the variable aperture lenses, but this is really good. You got the two subjects. Black and white is beautiful. Really nice job there. All right, working with the spray painter. Someone just tagged my front door. They're fucking morons. I hate when I do not like people that tag other people's shit. But that's beside the point. I just feel like a little bit more contrast does this all the wonders in the world for me. But now it's personal taste. But great composition. Wow. Wow. All right, ISO 100 at 1.8, 132/100th. It's perfect. You can't go anywhere else with the ISO. You're wide open the way you want to be, and you got your shutter speed to where it needed to be. Perfect.
Thank you. That's me.
Is this focused or is this black focus? Back focus. What are we doing with the Hasselblad L1D?
That's what the drone
It's
I took.
misfocused. It definitely misfocused. It's on the background. It's these trees. It missed the face. Is it a self-portrait? I don't know. Oh, what
it's my baby
cat. So we're on nose focus here. We're at 1/500. Yeah, see, it's the macro that's doing it to you. This is hard. We could try to put on the animal IAF. Oh, that one doesn't have animal IAF. It's fine. It just, everything about it's really good. Well, one thing I would be careful of is I know you're probably laying on the ground, so we want to and see how shallow the depth of field is here, but we kind of want to make sure that we're, you see how much better it is when oops, I didn't mean to do that, straight. You see the difference? So if you can get your line straight when you're laying down, that's going to be even better. But with such a narrow depth of field at 2.8, this is probably one of those where you could be at f4 with the shallow macro and still get everything, get what you need in focus the eye, and then the background will go out. Not easy sometimes. Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's Columbus, Ohio. I love this picture.
Boudoir. Look at that. It says boudoir. This is really nice. Really nice job there.
That's my girlfriend now.
I mean, you're going to get me just to say I despise this stuff. Why? I hate hotel room pictures with girls, personally. If you're related, different story, it's fine. But there's just something about, it just screams amateur when it's a person in a hotel room and you can see it's a hotel room. Like it loses it for me. In terms of color, you got to go black and white here because there is no color in that room.
Yeah, that
you
probably
see how much better this stands out. We're putting all the rest aside, the hotel room thing. That's just me. I just can't stand the stuff in the hotel rooms personally. Nailed it. That's awesome. Really nice job. Love it. We know we're in a gym. We can tell that. We've got the stepping thing here, and we've got the protein. Really nice job. 7200 Sigma. This is fine. I like that you didn't cut off the fingers. You cut off the top of the head, which is fine. Doesn't always need to be there. It works in your composition. We can see that we're at a beach somewhere. Beautiful. And I like the, the grain structure. To me, that's fine. But you got to be careful. Like, I think you're just adding grain, and some preset that you're using is adding a shit ton of noise. So be careful with that.
This is our work
really
truck.
Nice. Nice composition. Nice job right there. Doing really nice here. I really like the work that you have.
Thank you. It means a lot.
It's really perfect composition. Really, you left enough space here. You left enough space here. Just going to brighten it up just a little bit. I know I sound like Bob Ross there. I just feel brightening it just a little bit makes it sell even more. It's gorgeous. This is very nice too. Really nice job. Great exposure. Great photojournalistic stuff. This is what I'm talking about. This is where your wides, your mediums, and your tights and your details come into play. 16 to 35 makes all the difference. I would not be at 6.3 though. Why do we need to be at 6.3 is the question. The answer is you don't.
I don't know.
So 6.3, you're going to get all this important numbers, all this stuff in focus. It works here because it's not that big of a deal, but you really don't need to be at 6.3 for stuff like this, especially when you shoot wide at 16. Most of the stuff's going to be in focus anyway, but it works. So it works. Just keep that in mind.
I don't know why I put this on there. It's not that great.
I mean, that's all I got for that one. It's fine out there. The truck stuff's
Another
good.
work truck.
There's your details. Is it dirty? It's with your T7 again. But perfect composition. Really nice job. No, you nailed it. You're doing a great job. Oreos.
Oh, I love Oreos.
Just be careful with this extra gritty stuff that adds grain. See, you fought grain in that first picture, and then it shouldn't be that grainy unless you are zoomed in.
I purposely added the grain
with the 100. You shouldn't have that much noise in the background at 100 ISO. Not that I care about it. I'm just pointing it out that if you're adding noise, don't do filters that add noise. Just you can go in and take the noise out. Perfect product. Really nice job with the product shot. Super solid job. He's not in focus, is he? No. Let's see. This is where I probably break out the 16 to 35 if you had it at the time. 1/250th at 200. So squat thrusting 80s or whatever this is. So this is, yeah, back up. So this is a 16 to 35 all day if you have it. And if all you have is a 50, then you need to back the hell up even more because we don't need to be so close to him. We can back up and show the scene because the environment is important. So remember that. I tell people this little thing that if you're in Paris at the Eiffel Tower and you do a portrait at the Eiffel Tower or the Eiffel Tower's in the background but you can't see anything because you shot the portrait so tight, then what was the point of even being there? So here we have a gym. This is a 16mm wide angle, low, horizontal. You can go vertical too, but show the scene. Show the rest of what you're doing. It's fine, but just work out those wider ones. Nice. Love the straight line right here. This is what I look for.
Several pictures of her on here.
See how perfect that is? I don't care if you crop it after, to do that. I think you nailed it. She's in the perfect place. This is great. It's a little bright in the background, but that's fine. Are those birds right there? I don't know if those are birds, but it's very nice. Let me see if I warm it up just a little bit. It's great. Love it. Nice job. Beautiful portrait. You got the flag. Perfect. It's not super sharp, but we know exactly what it is. Nice separation. Really nice job. Skin tones, colors look great. Beautiful. Really nice job with everything there. Perfect composition. Just bringing the highlights up a little bit. And if we really want, I know it's tough with darker eyes, but you can come in here. 0.45 is like where I like to do it. And in this case, it doesn't look fake, but I'll show you. Don't do this. If it looks like this, it's fake. You see how this is subtle? It just looks natural. Just a little bit goes a long way. So definitely think about that with the eyes, especially darker brown eyes. Great composition. You're nailing it. Great colors, great tones. I'm not a fan of whichever filter this was used, preset was used. It could have even been one of ours, but I'm still not a fan of this preset.
It's probably one of yours, Jared Polin.
For this type of image, especially if you already have this type of edit for her, then I would stick and match them. But I like what you're doing. The colors, not the colors, but I like the way that the net shadows are there too. So this is super solid. You're doing a fantastic job for starting in 2019 with the Rebel, picking up the R and not complaining about it and getting great results. So I think you're doing great. I think you're doing fantastic for just starting. Your settings are really good, so not having to tell you that your settings are off, that's awesome. Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job. The best thing I can say is just keep on shooting. Just keep on doing more. The more you do, the better you get. Really nice job. Nice job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, I figured, of course I learned a lot of my stuff from him, but I'm surprised he didn't harsh on me about compositions and all that, and, mostly just like adjusting my settings where I could have been. So, wow, I'm impressed with myself. So I must be doing something right. So that was basically it. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Check out Jared too. Great stuff if you're learning photography and doing all that sort. So, all right. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.